How you doing, everybody? I'm Tony Gaglione.
I'm Shawn Adams.
This is Smacktalk.
Starting out here on segment 1, we're going to do a little different than our previous shows. We're going to do state of the different leagues. We're going to start out with state of the NBA, state of the NFL, talk about some important issues. First thing up on the NBA, what do you think about teams loading up? Is it good or bad? You know, is it loading up on players, getting a bunch of star players?
It's bad. It's bad for the NBA as a whole. You have a lot of teams that have hardcore fan bases in the NBA. Let's hence a Milwaukee or someone like that.
Yeah.
That can't afford the caliber of player that's out there right now, like LeBron James or Derrick Rose. Toronto Raptors, Cleveland Cavaliers. I mean, there's a lot of teams out there that want to contend, and the fan base is all for it, but they can't afford the player. So why allow these other teams to load up as much as they can and just take away the entire realm of hope for the small market teams?
Yeah, you know, I think it's good for the cities that do get these kind of players because it's going to ignite ticket sales, and then, you know, you're going to have all the hype around it. You know, the teams are going to be followed more closely by the media, but I agree with you that the NBA and as a whole is going to suffer because what do you end up doing? The NBA is a business. Sorry. The NBA is a business, right? It's a business. And if I've got a business and I've got 2 or 3 good products and the rest are crap, well, what's the point of offering the crap? What's the point of offering the crap? Why not just shut the business down and offer just
You might as well
the 3
start
good
from
products?
the playoffs.
Yeah, it's like, hey, these are the teams that are there.
Like, take your top 5 teams, give them the top 5 playoff spots, and let the other 4 fight it out.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Why should they have to play a regular season?
Yeah. What's the point?
You know the Heat are the number 1 seed.
Yeah, exactly.
You know the Bulls and Brooklyn are going to be in the top 5.
Yeah,
exactly. The Western Conference, you know you got LA,
Spurs,
you got OKC, you got
Spurs,
San Antonio.
Yeah. Houston, maybe.
Let everybody else fight it out for it and just go at it as far as playoffs go.
Exactly.
That's it. It's not that complicated. The other thing that we want to talk about as far as the NBA goes is teams loading up. The Heat don't have the money anymore.
Nope. It's gone.
To pay for LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. They have to let at least one go.
Yep, it'll be Chris Bosh.
Well, that's obvious. Where do these players go if they leave? So let's do one scenario for each player.
Chris Bosh, the Lakers.
Because they need a forward.
They need that.
Yeah,
Gasol,
I can agree with that.
Or the Mavericks. The Mavericks could afford him. I mean, for his price, they could have him and Dirk. They'd have the best 2 forward combination.
And no point guard.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, they got Stackhouse. Oh no, Stackhouse is retired.
Stackhouse, man, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Jeez, Dwayne Wade. I think if he actually does leave, which he won't.
No, that's his team.
Miami born and bred, drafted by Miami, won a title with Miami before LeBron James even got there.
He had Shaq though.
That's fine, but
the Shaq-inator.
Miami Heat are Dwayne Wade's team, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But if he does go anywhere, let's say he goes home. He's born and raised in Chicago.
You're such a homer.
I'm just trying to be honest.
Yeah, it'd be
when he was a free agent, before they loaded up with the big 3, he did visit Chicago.
Yeah, that's true.
So there is a possibility that if he did leave the team, he would go there. I think if LeBron left, he would go back to Cleveland.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Problem is, would the fans welcome him?
Yeah, they would welcome him.
Even with all the burned jerseys and the bonfires and all that kind of stuff?
I'd be wearing my burned jersey. It'd have holes and burn marks all over it.
Yeah, just
it's
plaster sorry over it.
You know, another team that I think would Cleveland, or not Cleveland, that he could possibly go to, and this is going to be a stretch, but Detroit. I mean, the Pistons.
That would be good.
The Pistons are known to occasionally have
spend the money.
Yeah, you know, and I think that
the only reason I say that LeBron would go back to Cleveland, not only because it's his hometown.
To win a title in Cleveland.
Yeah, to win a title, but they have the young talent that's there.
You know, the moment they win a title, there's like 8 people getting off the other side of the rail of the bridge.
But do you agree that the best young point guard in the league, as far as like rookies go, is Kyrie Irving?
Oh well, yeah, a part of the young ones. You know, I'm still a fan of Jimmer Fredette. I mean, what am I saying? No,
Jimmer? What?
I'm just messing with you.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, I agree. I think Cleveland would probably be his likely destination. But what else do you think about the large market teams? Let's talk about, you know, L.A., the Lakers, and the Clippers. You know, who do you think is the better team in L.A. right now?
As as of right now,
Yeah.
the Lakers are going to be the better team because they have Kobe.
Okay.
In the long run, Chris Paul's young.
Yeah.
So the Clippers are going to be the better team.
Okay.
Large market teams in general, Boston.
But I think about the Clippers is their owner is known to sell players. I mean, you can name Elton Brand. I mean, not now, but I'm saying back in the day.
All-star teams that are gone.
And that's why I worry about it. Blake Griffin going somewhere else. You know, I worry about that owner. The Lakers will always be right because
I
it's
agree.
the Lakers. You know,
I agree.
They have a history. You were saying Boston.
Boston, they got they just traded away their
whole
only
team
3
and their coach
to Brooklyn,
Yeah,
and Doc Rivers went to L.A.
Yeah.
To the Clippers. We just talked about. Excuse me. Boston's in a state of every 5 to 10 years, they're contenders for another 5 years.
Yeah.
Then they rebuild. That's what Danny Ainge does.
Yeah.
And when he's not good, he's the type of owner who wants to be really, really bad. So he can get that pick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So he can get a lottery pick.
Yeah, and he's done that.
And he has.
And look at their salary numbers.
Quoted him. I'd rather be in the lottery than make the 8th seed.
LeBron to Boston.
Don't say that.
I'm just saying.
They do have the money to do that.
The Celtic fans would go nuts. Celtic fans go. Also, we got Miami. I mean, we just got done talking about their possible breakup.
We talked about them.
One thing I think is Pat Riley.
If they break up, though?
Pat Riley will just, be crappy for 4 or 5 years and then make a splash somewhere else. There'll be somebody else coming out, free agent. I mean,
New York. Let's talk about New York real quick.
Hey, I think it's New York's year. I think it's Melo's year, dude. You look at what they did last year.
They got a good team.
I think they still got a good team. I think New York is a lot of good things headed their way. They finally got the coaching situation right. They got rid of D'Antoni.
Speaking of coaching situations, what do you think of Jason Kidd as a coach of the Brooklyn Nets?
I think that's the dumbest thing ever.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think it's that bad. I think it's better than Lawrence Frank.
I'm sorry, but I wouldn't want any person to be my coach that last year was showering with me.
I didn't like, what was that one appointment? Avery Johnson, when he was kind of like half coach.
Avery Johnson had a good Mavericks team.
And Mavericks. Yeah. Then he's not the coach there anymore.
He's the one that took the Mavericks to the finals when they lost to the
Heat.
Yeah.
To the Heat.
He was a good coach, but it's because he had the right team. I think he's coached other places where he didn't have a team.
Yeah, sure. One more large market team, Chicago, my hometown. I think they're in good shape as far as Derrick Rose goes, but as far as everything else goes...
I think Joakim Noah and Luol Deng is
Luol Deng's
right
leaving.
Now. I know, but I mean, right now it's good, but I think as long as you got Noah, Boozer, and Rose, you're going to be all right.
It's a number 3, number 2 seed just about every year.
Yeah.
They're a quality team as far as the playoff goes every year, but
I think as long as you got Derrick Rose...
They have the depth, but they can't. They have to go over the hump. You know what I mean? They have to get that other star player to go with Rose to win a championship.
I don't know. I think Rose could do it. I think it's just going to take the right circumstances. I just worry about him cheating on his SATs.
Okay, we were bringing up stuff like 6 years ago. Okay.
I mean, Memphis had to vacate.
Go to the NFL. You ruined it already.
Memphis had to vacate wins because that dude cheated on his SATs. Anyways, the NFL. Big thing in the NFL. The NFL has dropped their helmet deal with Riddell, the helmet manufacturer.
Shawn, remember when you were 5 and you cheated on hopscotch, man?
Yeah, but hey, I didn't cost
doesn't
my
show
team
your
any
character,
wins.
does it?
No. Anyways, the NFL's dropped Riddell as their helmet maker, and I think this is pretty much a publicity move as far as the concussion settlement and the evidence that's come out. They want to make a scapegoat. They're basically saying like, hey, we wanted the best, and you're not doing it for us, so guess what? We're going to take our money.
How many guys do you know that wear Riddle helmets the last 10 years?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. You don't recognize the player's helmet, but the point is...
Yeah, you do, because Riddle has the same face mask.
Well, no, players in the NFL can put their own face masks on.
Dude, all the Riddle face masks have
I know what I'm saying, but what I mean is I think the NFL is just...
Same stuff we played in Pop Warner.
They're just taking their... That's what I'm saying, that's going to hurt Riddell. And they're going to take their money elsewhere. And speaking of concussions and this whole thing, what do you think about these hitting penalties? I mean, Merriweather's been suspended and he appealed.
You might as well put 2-2s and give them flags.
Yeah, I've been saying that for a while.
I'm tired of seeing the over calls of defenseless receiver and all that kind of crap.
What would
Where
you do?
are you going to hit him?
What would you do if UFC said you couldn't hit the guy?
Not watch it.
You wouldn't watch it, right? I mean, that's what the NFL is heading for because...
No, it is because eventually they're going to start fining players for hitting at the knees. Yeah. And if you can't hit at the head and you get fined for hitting at the knees, then where are you supposed to hit? I'm sorry, but that doesn't work out like that. Well, in the heat of the moment, at 100 miles an hour, when a safety's coming down on a wide receiver, you're going to hit him wherever you're going to hit him.
My whole thing is this, is that the players are moving. So the head and the knees are going different directions.
Yeah, you can't know because he's going to make
it. It's not even consistent. It's not even consistent.
Yeah.
I watched a quarterback get chin popped.
Colt McCoy. I know you were talking about this James Harrison.
No. That was that's. I'm talking about this year. I think it was Andy Dalton. He got literally got popped right under the chin, which should have been a penalty.
They didn't call it.
And they don't call it, and the guy doesn't even get a fine for it. And that's the thing. It's like they pick and choose. And that's a big thing. Now, the big conversation I want to have with you is the state of the NFL, the running QB versus the pocket passer. Now, we're only going to talk about the young guys. We're not going to bring up the Tom Brady's, the Peyton Mannings, because their time has come. They've definitely made a case for the pocket passer. But now we have the Terrell Pryors, the Russell Wilsons, the Colin Kaepernicks, Geno Smith, RG3. You got those running quarterbacks. And then you got young guys like Matt Stafford, Andrew Luck. Guys that are Alex Smith, guys that are young, that are just mobile enough to gain a few yards.
And that's where I'm going to agree with you right there. I'm going to stop you right there and just say that's where it needs to be. There needs to be a balance in between the two. Because you can't be a all-running quarterback and win games. Michael Vick proved that already. Yeah. You can't win a Super Bowl just being a running quarterback. Colin Kaepernick proved that last year. Joe Flacco, pure pocket passer.
Yeah.
Beats him in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the Super Bowl winning quarterbacks in the last 5 years, 6 years.
And
Roethlisberger, Manning,
yep.
Flacco. I mean, they're all Drew Brees.
And don't get me wrong, the running quarterback might be exciting. And you're going to think in your head, like, we have a great team. This guy is gaining yards, he's scoring touchdowns, but guess what? He's not winning titles.
Well, this is the thing I think which especially in the playoffs exposes the running quarterback, is that good teams, you're in the playoffs, you got good coaches, they game plan. You can't run if your defensive ends are to get upfield and sit. Now, if they're getting upfield and trying to rush, the guy can break it out for a 30-yard run.
Not to mention,
but if his job is to get outside, upfield, and then sit there, the quarterback goes to run, there's nothing around him, then you bring the inside pressure. Now, he's already taken his eyes off downfield receivers, and now it's throw an interception, run for 4 yards, get sacked for 3 because he tried to make up some yards. And I think that's where they're a liability. Whereas a pocket passer, he's only trying to move, and he's keeping his eyes downfield. Where, I mean, to be honest with you, you make big chunks of yardage. You can break off the runs if you got the Adrian Petersons, things like that, Marshawn Lynch's,
Sure.
But the big chunks of yardage come through the passing game. Your average passing first down is like 11 yards, 8 yards or more.
But see, and like you were saying, when it comes to the playoffs, these guys aren't going to succeed because you come across these coaches like Bill Belichick, Sean Payton, who's going to have, like you said, the defensive ends stop, and the linebackers are going to be QB spies.
I mean, I know they're not doing that well this year, but if you look at, and besides the Terrell Pryor thing, you look at the Steelers and Dick LeBeau, they're notorious for shutting down running quarterbacks. I mean, RG3, they humiliated him last year. He had like 17 yards rushing, and he was tearing everybody else up. He tore Baltimore up before he got injured. And I think that if you look at the defensive coordinators, the ones that are in the playoffs are the good defensive coordinators. You know what I mean? You might get the first-year head coach with a surprise team, but he's got a great defensive coordinator.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean?
Guy that's been there for 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. That should have been a head coach.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the Bengals, and I forget, Mike Zimmer, the Bengals defensive coordinator. That guy should be a head coach, but no, he's defensive coordinator. The Bengals got the talent to stop a running quarterback, and that's what I think. I think that, like you said, it's exciting. It's great for your fantasy team. But in the long run, the guys like Andrew Luck and Matthew Stafford, I'm going to say
they're going to succeed.
Andrew
Luck's going to win a Super Bowl.
It wouldn't surprise me if it was a Lions-Colts Super Bowl in the near future.
Wow.
I mean, with Stafford and
Not
Reggie
year,
Bush. No, I'm saying with
Stafford
right now this year. I mean,
no.
Stafford, Reggie Bush, Calvin Johnson.
No, I agree.
I mean, you look at next year when Colts get healthy. They're going to have Reggie Wayne back. They'll have Ahmad Bradshaw.
I wouldn't knock them out right away. I would knock Detroit out this year, but I wouldn't knock out the Colts for the Super Bowl this year at all. At all. They have a solid team. One more thing we want to talk about in the NFL is the expansion of the playoffs, which would shorten preseason.
Yeah.
And expansion of the game in general outside the U.S.
Yeah, to London. I'd love to see it.
Or even Canada, for that matter.
I'd love to see it, man. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it because, football is an exciting sport. I mean, besides the fact that you only watch actual 11 minutes of actual play and the rest is like penalties and commercials and stats and stuff like that, I still think that...
Doritos and Sprite commercials.
Yeah, I still think the NFL is an exciting game to watch. It's one of my favorite sports to watch. But especially in London because, the NFL Europe thing kind of went under. But if you start small and you go to like London and Canada and Mexico City, where we've had quite a few games played,
yeah.
And you do those kind of things and you get teams and you work out the logistics. And especially because LA is part of that expansion.
And you got teams that would go there too. I mean, you obviously put the London team in the East.
The AFC
You put the
East,
Canada team in the North, AFC
exactly.
or NFC, and you put in the South with Mexico City.
Yeah.
It can happen. There are longer flights that happen when New York plays, I don't know.
Yeah,
Oakland.
Seattle goes to exactly.
I mean, there are longer flights that happen. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
I mean,
and I think it'll just expand the fact that the NFL or American football in general should be a worldwide sport.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Super Bowl is one of the most watched events in the world anyway, so, I mean, it would just help the money on that.
I agree.
The commercials
100%.
would probably be better. Okay, that's it for segment 1. Stay tuned for segment 2. We're going to do State of the Franchise, NHL, and Soccer. I'm Shawn Adams.
Tony Gaglione. Stay classy, Las Vegas.